Hello, my name is Michael Pedowitz, and I'm an author from Cream Ridge, New Jersey. I'm so thankful to the Princeton Public Library for organizing the local Author Day event, and I can't wait to meet so many readers and writers. Today, I'm excited to read to you from my book, Abraham, which follows a young AI engineer as he ventures into a vast virtual world created by the company Abraham. I'll be reading from the beginning of Chapter 7. To set the stage, the protagonist, Arthur Hesper, has joined his girlfriend and boss, Sarah Stellos, in linking their minds to a virtual universe called the Brain. Inside it, Arthur and Sarah meet a powerful artificial intelligence/virtual tour guide called Allie. She's with them now inside the empty Genesis room, about to welcome them into their first adventure. The Simulation Showcase was Allie's name for the grand tour of about a dozen or so of the Brain's most advanced virtual worlds. As Sarah and I stood together in the Genesis room, strapping on our goggles and skydiving vests, the reality of what we created was starting to sink in. "Why do we need goggles?" Sarah asked as she tugged the strap around her head. "To protect your eyes from the 120-mile-per-hour winds," Allie said matter-of-factly. "Oh, did you mean can I turn off the wind effects?" "Never mind," Sarah said. Allie turned to us both. Immediately, a holographic wall of text appeared in front of us. "Please read over the following message before we proceed." I looked at the notice. "Welcome to the Abraham Simulation Showcase. The effects in these virtual worlds will feel real because, to you, they are real. Any physical effects that you will experience are simulated and will not affect your body back on Earth. Additionally, according to Abraham Entertainment guidelines, users will not experience a sensation of injury inside the simulation. However, if at any point you wish to stop this experience, say the word exit and the simulation will cease." I looked over at Sarah. "Our pain receptors are turned off?" I asked her. "Not off, but softened," Sarah said. "You can feel things around you, but I have it set so that users cannot be injured inside the Brain. This place is meant to help its users escape from the pain and sickness of the real world, not experience more of it." Sarah pulled the strap around her vest tightly and gave me a nod. "Ready?" I nodded back at her. "Ready." We looked over at Allie. "We're ready," we said in unison. I took Sarah's hand and grinned at her. Allie smiled. "Confirmed. Before we start, are either of you afraid of heights?" I looked over at Sarah and shrugged. "A little," I said. Sarah nodded, her grip on my hand tightening. "Good," Allie said. Without warning, we started falling through the sky. I felt my heart pound as I looked down. We weren't in the Genesis room anymore, but 15,000 feet above the ground. Below us, the farthest reaches of planet Earth sprawled out along an endless horizon. I would have marveled at the deep blue oceans or the wide expanse of land if I wasn't mortified. I realized that I was no longer holding Sarah's hand, that she was about 30 feet to my left. She was screaming, her voice a far higher pitch than I'd ever heard it. Her hair flew in the air behind her, and her face was filled with terror. "Sarah!" I shouted. "Arthur!" she shouted, looking around trying to find me. She was truly terrified. I didn't know that anything frightened her until now. In that moment, I had to reach Sarah. I needed to reach her. I tried waving my arms around, but nothing happened. I was tumbling through the air, and the ground was quickly approaching. I couldn't feel my hands. My vision was going dark. I was panicking, and I couldn't see Sarah, who needed me. "Exit!" I shouted. Suddenly, both Sarah and I were laying on the colorless floor of the Genesis room, free from our skydiving vests and goggles. Sarah was breathing heavily, holding one hand beneath her jacket over her heart. "Are you all right?" Allie asked, walking towards us. "Stay back," I wheezed. Allie had nearly gotten us killed. I didn't care if it was simulated in that death trap of a tour. I didn't want her coming any closer to us. Allie stepped back nervously as I forced myself up onto my knees, and I put my hand on Sarah's back. "We want to—" "Arthur," Sarah said. "I've got it, Sarah. You can rest." I looked up at Allie angrily. "No," Sarah said, pulling herself up off the ground and out of my arm. "Arthur, why did you take us out of there?" "What?" I asked. "I didn't ask you to say exit," she said, raising her voice. For some reason, I glanced over at Allie, trying her for an answer. "What?" I looked back at Sarah. "Sarah, you're mortified. You were—" "Yes, of course I was terrified, but that's the whole point," she said, getting up onto her feet and staring down at me. "You're meant to feel things in here, experience the adrenaline that accompanies a new world. It's not all going to be calm. Didn't you read the notice?" "I thought you didn't want to feel pain," I protested. "Fun isn't painful," she said. "I was looking out for—" "Don't. Remember, you cannot get hurt or die inside this place. If you don't want to experience the Brain, Arthur, you are more than welcome to leave. I don't want you doing anything that you don't want to do." Tapping her foot, Sarah crossed her arms indignantly. "Naturally, this is what I get for trying to be a protective boyfriend. I saw my girlfriend in danger. I acted. Isn't that what I'm supposed to do?" If you would like, I can turn down the intensity of the simulation, Allie said, stepping forward and looking at me nervously. No, I said. I kept my gaze focused on Allie. I'm sorry, the simulation is fine. I shouldn't have been rude to you. Let's begin again. Are you sure? Sarah and Allie asked in unison. They glanced at each other and then back at me. Just give a little warning before you drop me out of a plane, I said. Allie nodded and smiled. That does ruin the surprise of it, but very well. Arthur, Sarah, I'm about to drop you out of a plane.